ಶುರು ಮಾಡೋದಾ ಸರ್?
ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿ.
ಗುಡ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ನೂನ್ ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ. ಇಂದಿನ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಹರಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ನಂಜುಂಡಪ್ಪ ಸರ್ ಅವರು ಬಯೋ ರೆವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಎಂಬ ವಿಷಯದ ಮೇಲೆ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸ ನೀಡಲಿದ್ದು, ಈ ಒಂದು ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಪ್ರತಿಭಾ ಶೋಧನೆ ಯೋಜನೆಯ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಹರಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ನಂಜುಂಡಪ್ಪ ಸರ್ ಅವರನ್ನು ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಟು ಯು ಸರ್.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ ದೇಗೌಡ.
ಸೊ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದಂತ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಯ್ಯಪ್ಪನ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರನ್ನು ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಹಾಗೂ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಆಯೋಜಿಸಿ ನಮಗೆ ದಿನನಿತ್ಯವೂ ಸಲಹೆ ಸೂಚನೆಗಳನ್ನು ನೀಡುತ್ತಿರುವ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಯ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಾಹಕ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಾದಂತಹ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ರಮೇಶ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ನನ್ನ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ವೃಂದ, ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ವೃಂದ ಹಾಗೂ ನನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಹೋದ್ಯೋಗಿಗಳಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸುತ್ತಾ, ನಾನು ಕಳೆದ ತರಗತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಹರಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ನಂಜುಂಡಪ್ಪ ಸರ್ ಅವರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅವರ ಕಿರು ಪರಿಚಯ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಹಾಗೂ ಕಾಲಾವಕಾಶ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಕ್ಕೆ ಕರೆ ಬಯಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಓವರ್ ಟು ಯು ಸರ್.
Thank you, Siddegowda. Very good afternoon, Professor Ayappan and Dr. Ramesh. It is a wonderful opportunity to be a part and parcel of delivering lectures for the young minds in this program of KSTA. It's really appreciating, and I really enjoy this. Thank you very much for providing me this opportunity. So today I will be just trying to open up the mind into what we actually have on our plate for the future. Is it just this what we are going to eat in future? Is this just enough? So with that question in mind, let's go towards what actually bio revolution is and how this one technology or this one step of human beings is going to transform the way we live. What exactly is bio revolution? So just to define it in a few words, it's a simple, to consider it very in simple terms, the application of biological science as you all have understood until now, and the technology in convergence with each other with an effort to enhance human life and the environment around us. So how is this possible? This is possible because when we consider the advances in biological sciences, these are the ones which are fueling a new wave of innovation that have the potential to have significant impact in sectors across the major economy and the healthcare and agriculture to the consumer goods and the energy and so on. So just to have an overview of how biorevolution is transforming human life, we see that in the recent years, this technology has rapidly advanced, and owing to the combination with accelerating development of computing, data processing, artificial intelligence, which is spurring a new wave of innovation that could have very significant impact in a wide array of sectors. There is no limit at all. Its impact is being felt across many areas of human life, includes healthcare, agriculture, energy production, environmental sustainability, and so on. Okay. What are the four arenas in which the bio innovations are happening? These are the four arenas in which bio innovations is happening. That is biomolecules, biosystems, biomachine interfaces, and biocomputing. What exactly are these? Biomolecules, the effort of mapping and engineering intracellular molecules. And when we come to biosystems, we have learned to mapping and engineering cells, tissues, and organs. And biomachine interfaces, scientists have put forward effort to connect nervous system of living organisms to machines. And of course, what we understand biocomputing, using cells and cellular components for computation. So nearly 7 decades after the double helical structure of DNA molecule was discovered, the world of biology actually appears to have reached a new phase of growth. There is a flurry of recent innovations such as CRISPR-Cas9, which has the capability to edit genes, and stem cell advances to reprogram cells. These are the ones which are providing new understanding, new materials, new tools, as well as it is not. The one beauty of these technologies is the cost, as usually we might expect, will increase because technology is enhanced. No, there is this technology which is reducing the cost, also making everything available at lower costs. So just to elaborate on these four arenas: biomolecules, biosystems, biomachine interfaces, and biocomputing. So I told you biomolecules maps cellular processes and functions via measuring intercellular molecules, for example, DNA, RNA, proteins. In the study of omics, we will just touch upon omics later. So when we talk about engineering of biomolecules, we see that intercellular molecules can be engineered in a very many different ways. For example, gene therapy for monogenic diseases as a solution. When we come to biosystems, these are complex biological organizations and processes and interactions in between them happening. And when we talk about the engineering in biosystems, we see that cells, tissues, and organs, including stem cell technologies and transplantation, are a reality today. And the cultured meat grown in a lab is a very good example of the biosystems we have developed. And biomachine interfaces, when we look at how biomachine interfaces are working, the structure and function of nervous systems of living organisms have been engineered to form hybrid systems that connect nervous systems of living organisms to machines. For example, you have neuroprosthetics for motor control, the implant or the external headset, which actually works like the normal hand or normal organ of our body, of human or robotic limb, for example, when you take. That's how it works. That is how you don't differentiate today with the robotics movements and the human movements. Biocomputing is another vast area wherein we find intercellular pathways or networks of cells to return outputs based on the specific conditions, which is triggered by the biological activity is be carried out. For example, we have the cells and cellular components for computational processes, which is storing, retrieving, processing data is carried out using the computational technologies. For example, data storage in strands of DNA is one which has a potential of storing huge amount of data. Today, you are seeing hard disks which can be embedded in your palm, which is that 1 TB, 2 TB, 5 TB. So tomorrow you will have your DNA which can package 100 times more data than what you are seeing today. So the advancement in biotechnology is the one which has led to what we today call as biorevolution. There are major breakthroughs in each of the four arenas, and these are the ones which are reinforcing one another. For example, in biomolecules and biosystems, advances in omics and molecular technologies, the mapping and measuring of molecules and pathways within cells and engineering them. These are enhancing our understanding of biological processes as well as enabling us to engineer what we know today in biology. I said omics. What's omics? A collective range of scientific research streams is referred to as omics. So intercellular flow of genetic information is what omics all deals about. So what are the different areas in omics we can talk about? Epigenomics, for example, deals with DNA modifications, wherein epigenetic marks that regulate gene expression, for example, DNA methylation, histone, protein, are the ones which can be regulated. Genomics, that is DNA, full genetic complement of an organism, relatively static over time, can be regulated. And after transcription, you see they form RNA. That area of study you call as transcriptomics, wherein complete set and quantity of RNA transcripts that are produced at a given time is being referred to. And when it gets translated, we come into the next omic stage, that is the proteomics. So which deals with proteins, as all know, which is the entire set of proteins of an organism with changes over time, and these are the ones which actually leads to different functionalities of the human body. So intracellular products of metabolism, when we consider, we have an area of omics called as metabolomics, which deals with the metabolites of the human body and a set of metabolites in forming intermediates and products of the metabolism. We have the next glycomics in the intercellular products of metabolism, wherein glycan is a starting point, that is the structure and function of the complete set of glycosylated products, for example, glycans you've heard of. Lipidomics, the next one is, which deals with lipids, study of lipids, and complete set of lipids produced in the human body is dealt, the study of it is dealt under lipidomics. There are other areas of omics also which can be known, that is microbiomics, which deals with the microbe population, wherein all the microbes in a population which living in the human gut, which is popularly known as the microbiome today, is what microbiomics deals with. Single cell omics. Single cell omics actually deals with human and other cells, and it captures single cell level nonsense that aggregation across multiple cells would miss actually. Circulating cell-free DNA or RNA analysis is also an omics area, wherein you see that DNA or RNA in bloodstream and not in the cell, that is non-invasive genome or transcriptome information. This area of study. Worldwide, when you see data sequencing now creates huge volumes of biological data every year. And these technical advances, such as low-cost sequencing or high-throughput screening, are the ones which have actually helped lower the cost of entry, accelerate the pace of experimentation, and also has led to generation of new forms of data, which is helping the mankind to better understand the biology of humans and other living organisms. At the same time, the advances at the single cell level, such as a single cell imaging tool and single cell ribonucleic acid sequencing, are also allowing scientists to build increasingly high resolution maps of cells, which has the capability to be a basis for research, diagnosis, and treatment. Increasingly, we see that the ability to understand and engineer biological processes which exist across a variety of dimensions is enhancing. So, mapping the genome is a basic foundational step for biorevolution. We see that the Human Genome Project, as a part of it, a 13-year-old one, which wherein 3 billion journey to map the entire human genome began in 1990, and genomics is the most technologically advanced branch of omics and has the most related applications, either in the development or they are already in use. But there are other omics which are necessary complements, and they also work in tandem with each other. And this is also increasing day by day. Mankind is stepping into new omics platforms. With such powerful developments, map of the human genome began to materialize only when sequencing DNA became cheaper and faster. So the cost of DNA sequencing is now surprisingly decreasing. If you look at the way it has decreased, it is really, really surprising. In 2003, mapping the human genome costed $3 billion. By 2019, it was less than around $1,000. But within a decade or even sooner, the cost could be less than $100. So how much reduction has happened, that owing everything to the technology and what we today call as biorevolution. There are transformational changes in human life owing to the new biological capabilities mankind has developed. The new biorevolution has the potential to bring all-encompassing change in the overall societies we live in. Effects will be felt across all walks of life in the industrial sector, the way medicines and consumer products are delivered and also consumed. The most important amongst these actually includes biological means which could be used to produce products with potentially improved performance and sustainability in all areas, increased control and precision in methodology for development, manufacturing, and consumption accompanied by personalization. You'll no more be eating or taking tablets. Everybody will not be taking tablets in the same way. Each one will have an engineered, actually personalized tablet for the ailment they are suffering from. So enhanced capability in engineering and reprogramming human and all other organisms, innovative methodology using artificial intelligence and machine learning, and proliferating biological data are actually improving and accelerating the discovery and productivity in overall research and development efforts that mankind is making. The bionic, that is the interface between living organisms and computers, potential is ever growing day by day. While these are still baby steps towards biorevolution, the scope and scale of these revolutionary capabilities could have a very broad impact on economies and societies, touching multiple domains, both directly or indirectly. So these applications may change everything from the food we eat to what we wear to the types of medical treatments we receive and how we develop the physical and also the living world around us. So the biorevolution is transforming human life in profound ways, offering every walk of life new solutions to the age old problems what we have faced all the time, and creating exciting new possibilities which we look forward. One of the most significant areas of impact from biorevolution has been in healthcare. So, biorevolution has revolutionized the diagnosis and treatment of diseases, with genetic testing and personalized medicine leading the way. The present manner in which mankind handled COVID issue is one very good example of this revolution. Genetic testing allows for early detection of genetic disorders, and personalized medicine enables doctors to tailor treatments to the specific genetic makeup of patients, these providing more effective and efficient care for all the patients and enabling the doctors in a better manner. Another area where biorevolution is having a significant impact is in agriculture. Biotechnology has led to the development of genetically modified crops, which are more resistant to pests, drought, and also other environmental stressors, which the mankind has identified. Biorevolution is also having a very positive impact on the environment. Biodegradable materials such as bioplastics are reducing waste and preserving natural resources. Bioremediation, that is the technology of using microorganisms to clean up environmental pollutants, is helping to mitigate the effects of human activity on the environment. Furthermore, we see that advances in biotechnology have led to the development of clean energy sources such as alga-based biofuels, which have been the potential to greatly reduce the greenhouse gas emissions. The McKinsey and Company report in 2020, the Biorevolution, Innovations Transforming Economies, Societies, and Our Lives, actually is a very vast report bringing knowledge into what we call as biorevolution. So, a visible developmental path of applications is the one which can actually deliver profound impact across a wide range of domains in the next 2 decades, especially concerted efforts towards reduced disease burden, improved quality in everything, cost productivity, and environmental issues. The McKinsey report states in 10 to 20 years, a visible pipeline of biological applications could approximately two could approximately be 2 trillion to 4 trillion of direct annual economic impact. And that, as you all understand, is very, very huge. So how? From the same report, we see that the estimates have been done. The partial estimate of potential and direct annual impact by time horizon they have done. So what is the estimated impact from modifying biology? So the shorter period, if we take, that is around 2020 to 2030, what's going to happen? That is around 30% of modifying biological impacts would be felt by the mankind. The medium term, that is the medium time horizon, 2030 to 2040, if we consider as per the report, we see that there would be 60% impact. And the longer term impact, 2040 to 2050, around 70% of the impact will be there on the way mankind lives and does things around him. From the same report, if you consider the partial estimate of range of annual potential direct economic impact by domain areas by 2030, 40, biomolecules and biosystems is going to have 95% of the impact on its development, around 1.7 to 3.4 trillion dollars percentage is going to be invested in this area. If you look at the breakup on the human health and performance is very huge, where around 33% has still not been evaluated, but the percentage of it being invested is very huge. The next is agriculture and food. The amount in or the economies, the economic impact in agriculture and aquaculture and food will be very huge. And the consumer products and services, if we consider, it is also going to have a 16% impact. Materials and energy production is around 8% and the others around 1%. So if you consider, there would be a 36% highest impact on the economies by 2030 on agriculture, aquaculture, and food. The biomachine interfaces, if you look at, there is going to be a 0.1 to 0.2 trillion dollar percentage of impact. Human health and performance around 0.002 to 0.1%, and consumer products and services 0.05 to 0.1%. Biocomputing is around 1%, less than around 1%, wherein information and communication technologies are the ones which are going to be impacted. So most value in the next 1 to 2 decades will come in 4 domains of innovation. That is human health and performance, wherein the first impact is health optimization in future generations. The second one is gene drives to reduce vector-borne diseases. We already have the impact of that in the present way in which we handled the COVID-19 situation. Cell, gene, and RNA-based approaches to prevent, diagnose, and treat diseases, and also there would be improvements in drug development and the increased control. The arenas of innovation include in these human health and performance are biomolecules, biosystems, and biomachine interfaces. So the transformation capabilities of these areas include increased control and precision with whatever is done in these areas. There would be enhanced ability to engineer and reprogram human and non-human organisms, and there would be increased throughput and productivity of R&D, and there will be growing potential for interfaces between biological systems and computers. When we come into the area of agriculture, aquaculture, and food, the impact it has is the first and foremost area to be considered is biological means for physical inputs, wherein selective breeding of animals and plants will occur. The CRISPR genetic engineering of plants would take place, wherein increased control and precision would be actually achieved, and growth of plant-based protein and lab-grown meat would be definitely a reality, wherein we would have enhanced ability to engineer and reprogram human and non-human organisms, and the microbiome data to optimize agricultural inputs will lead to increasing the throughput and productivity in the area of R&D. Going further, the consumer products and services, if we consider, the increased control and precision we'll have in the DTC genetic testing, and also the microbiome-based beauty products, genetically engineered pets, personalized offering of health, nutrition, fitness based on omics data is going to become a reality. People are already on the verge, not on the verge, they are actually trying to stagnate their looks and age. Not just the looks, they want to stagnate the growth of their organs. Also, people are investing millions of dollars into staying young in the manner in which, including all the organs in the body. The materials, chemicals, and energy, if we look at the development of new bioroutes for fabrics and dyes is already there, and the improvement of existing fermentation processes for industrial enzymes is going to take advantage in various industrial sectors. The development of novel materials such as biopolymers would enhance the way we live, and also the extraction of raw materials using microbes is going to enhance and also increase the way we live in a better manner. So the McKinsey report again states the direct annual global impact of the biorevolution could be around 2 trillion to 4 trillion in 2030, which is more than half of that will be in agriculture and food, consumer products, materials, and energy. That's a 2 trillion per year industrial bioeconomy business by 2030 and 40. So this is something which is highly considerable, and the industrial sector is moving towards biorevolution. However, the biorevolution is not without its challenges and concerns. Ethical and social implications, such as the use of genetic engineering, modify human traits, raise important questions about the role of science we have, which is shaping human life. Furthermore, the rapid pace of technological progress raises concerns about the safety and reliability of biotechnology and the potentially unintended consequences which it can lead. So all this appears, whatever I said until now, very rosy, isn't it? We will have everything at our reach. But is it a panacea for societal ills and challenges? Risks of biology here needs to be addressed very properly, if at all we can, or we have to actually embrace these technologies and live in a better manner. So what are these actually? Bioinnovation brings about substantial exclusive challenges and risks in our way. So looking into what are these risks which it actually poses. There are, apart from the benefits it gives us, it also associated with shrewd ways of dealing with what we have to understand in a manner in which it doesn't affect us in a negative sense. So what exactly? There are significant dangers which are associated with the rapid progress in bioinnovation. If handled correctly, the rewards could be substantial in every way. I've just told you what exactly could be the way we live. As I said, we can live forever to be only considered as 18-year-olds or 20-year-olds or 25-year-olds, including not just the looks I said, including the development of the organs. We can revert and just see that our organs are also aged around 18 years. Handled very poorly, on the other hand, the outcomes could be catastrophic on a population scale and a very large scale. So these risks actually bring about a set of considerations that must be managed very appropriately in order to avoid the potential downsides from outweighing the anticipated benefits. We always have to be on the lookout for what it can lead us to. It is not like earlier we are working in the dark. Now we have the light all over. We can see everything. So we have to tread our steps very carefully. We know what's happening. The technological developments has actually shed light on everything which was a dark area earlier. Earlier, we were not knowing what exactly would genetic manipulation of anything will lead to. We were concerned when scientists developed genetically modified crops, taking genes from various different organisms and putting it into plants to enhance what? To enhance the way it resists itself from pests, the way it provides us food. So, and it got enhanced. That is, the plants, the agricultural plants actually became very, very resistant, and they could resist the tough of the tough diseases and also the tough of the tough pests. Nothing. The cotton bollworm was a devastating pest in cotton, if you look at it. So, but after you see the development of genetically modified cotton, that is BT cotton as it is popularly called as, you will see that there is a tremendous change in the way farmers started reaping their crop. Why this happened? Because it could resist the bollworm. The bollworm could not grow in this BT cotton at all. So these changes bring in lot of development. But during the development of such technologies, one fear the mankind was always expecting is that, okay, what if such kind of a gene will get parallelly transferred to a plant which is not good, which is a weed. So will it lead to super weeds? Now, this weed cannot be destroyed because it has a gene which gives its resistance towards pathogens, and it can survive more droughts, and it can also live in cold conditions. So all these would it develop, would it lead to what we can refer to as a totally resistant superweed? Did that happen? We have seen over the generations that nothing of that sort has happened because scientists were putting their steps very carefully and shedding light on what could possibly happen. And day by day, today we are, and we have established that no such thing can happen because we are careful in whatever we are handling. So, biology. What are the areas of concerns then in biorevolution? The concerns in biorevolution is we have to always keep in mind that biology is self-replicating. It doesn't need anybody's assistance to replicate. It is self-sustaining, and it does not respect jurisdictional boundaries. New genetically engineered genes directed wrongly towards pathogens can be disastrous. Again, referring back to the pandemic we have experienced very drastically in the near past. It was really, really worrisome. Would it all erase the humankind at all from this earth? So that was the impact which it all gave us. So if we don't deal with it very properly, if the scientists or mankind doesn't deal with it very properly, it can be very dangerous, disastrous. The interconnected nature of biology can increase the potential of unintended consequences. What do we mean by that? Biology is intricately linked. We are not yet there, though we have completely mapped the human genome. Most of the genes, whatever we have found, we have not been able to associate it with the functionality in the human body. Still don't know what it functions for. So we have to accept that biology is intricately linked. Alterations in one aspect of a system can trigger a chain reaction with unanticipated result throughout the ecosystem or even among different species, not just in one. We can just be looking at what microorganism we have genetically engineered, and that genetically micro-engineered organism can have impact on so many higher species also. Minimal hurdles for entry is another challenge which we all have to be very cautious about. This can lead to the possibility of abuse and with potentially deadly outcomes. Some biological technologies are relatively cheap and accessible. Thriving community of biohackers practices gene editing today in community labs or even at home. Look at the way the technology has percolated. You can do it at home. So biohackers are doing, and gene editing is being practiced in that manner. So we have to be really, really cautious about what it could all lead to. Now, differing value systems make it actually hard to forge consequences, including life and death issues. When we say, is the ability to edit out disabilities before birth playing God? That's a highly, highly ethical question wherein we will have a hell a lot of people pouring in their viewpoints as to yes and no. Is it acceptable, on the other hand, if we decide, okay, we should not edit because it's like playing God? So, is it acceptable to edit an embryo to prevent sickle cell anemia? Now, here you see what you're doing. You are actually preventing a disease from happening at the embryo level. But then again, if we look forward, would it be considered wrong to choose a baby's skin or eye color? Today, the law restricts us even to know what is the sex of the baby. But capabilities like these, will it be acceptable or not, is an ethical question which has to undergo a lot of discussions. And these debates would lead to a proper understanding and also lead us to a stage wherein we will all have better understanding of what we literally can tell is ethical and not ethical, and draw a silver line between these two of what we can do and what we should not. Privacy and consent issues are actually very fundamental when it comes to healthcare and human beings. When and how do individuals give consent to what data are gathered and how they are used? We all provide our personal data in most of the health issues we come across. We go to a hospital, we reveal so many things. Is the science available that can differentiate between thoughts that an individual wants and does not want to share? Do you have it? Today is the ethical question, which actually is to be very well understood and dealt with. Unequal access could actually perpetuate socioeconomic disparity, potentially regressive effects. That is, biological advances and their commercial applications may not be accessible to all in equal measure. So, would it create an imbalance amongst people? And how would it create that imbalance? What would be the imbalance? How are we going to face that? Would there be a sect of people who will have access to live forever, and Would there be a set of people who doesn't have access, who can't afford any such technology and would die of various diseases? So these ethical questions needs a lot of debate to be done, and also in turn a lot of discussions which can lead us to a better understanding, and we have to tread this path very, very carefully without affording to make a mistake. A wrong step would definitely be a step on the landmine. We are in a fix. We can't walk further, neither can we stay there. The only choice is to perish. That should not be the condition which we all would lead ourselves into. We have to be very, very cautious, finding answers before we actually meet the challenge. So these what I mentioned necessitate thoughtful response and possibly new methods, new methods of addressing them. And when we look at these possibilities, how do we actually start looking at the solutions for these challenges? The scope and scale of the potential impact on economies and societies, if we look at, they appear very substantial. 60% of the world's physical inputs could be made using biological means in future. And even presently, we're almost there. 45% of the world's disease burden could be addressed using biorevolution or technologies which have been developed. 30% of private sector R&D spent in biology related industries. That is the present scenario. This was actually according to the McKinsey report 2020. So we have surpassed almost 3 years. McKinsey actually is considering releasing a second volume of its report on the same line of study, which would be actually an eye-opener as to where we are. So we are the stage of transformative new capabilities, wherein bio-based material production is possible today. Personalized and precision products and services is a reality. We have engineered organisms with capabilities we never thought of would be possible. And we have higher bio-based R&D productivity in the industrial sector. Bio-machine interfaces in computing has always become a reality. These have found applications across different domains. For example, in agriculture, you see that meats produced without animals have biosynthesized egg, meat, everything. And energy and materials, synthetic silks produced by microbe factories. When we consider healthcare, monogenic diseases prevented at birth itself. And when we look at the consumers, we have personalized diets based on not just the disease you come up with. It is dealt with even before the mankind succumbs or actually encounters any disease. The diets is engineered based on their genetic makeup. So these are the applications which actually are in front of us. What are the risks and what are we to manage as mankind with all these capabilities? Self-replicating bio-crossing borders is the one which we have to be very cautious about. Unintended consequences, low barriers to potential misuse, and they are hard to forge consensus, which I explained to you earlier. And there are privacy and concerns, ethical questions to be answered, and also inequitable access or effects, wherein this can create imbalance and no more poor and the rich. It would be like the people who can really afford a higher bio-revolutionized technology for living, and those of them who might not have access to that. So it's a new beginning, what we are all stepping into. In conclusion, the bio-revolution is transforming human life in profound ways, which is offering new solutions to age-old problems and certain exciting new possibilities for the future. While there are challenges and concerns we have seen in the short span, as I explained, the benefits of biorevolution, such as improved healthcare, increased food security, environmental sustainability, and clean energy, are very clear because we are already reaping the benefits of that. It is up to us to ensure that the biorevolution is guided by ethical considerations and its benefits are shared equitably. By embracing the biorevolution, we have the opportunity to shape a better future for all. Innovators, businesses, policymakers must act if we are to capture the benefits of the biorevolution while engaging together in a sustained dialogue about how to use these innovations. That's what we all together as a mankind should do. So, next to the digital revolution, which is in everybody's mind, we are living in the middle of biorevolution enabled by new fundamental discoveries in fields of developmental biology, technology, microbiome research, genomics, cell biology, and so on. It is the convergence. What exactly is this biorevolution, if we can understand it? It is the convergence of these new basic discoveries in biology with new technologies such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, new chemistry, nanotechnology, novel imaging, or even quantum technologies, which pave way for this new era in science and a new economy, which can rightly be called as bioeconomy. This offers the unique opportunity to connect innovation with sustainable growth within planetary boundaries. So, what's biorevolution? Age of biology, which we have all experienced, the microbiome, the stem cells, gene editing, cognitive science, and the age of technology, artificial intelligence, sensor optics, blockchain, robotics, converging together to provide us with a brighter future what in a world we are all going to live in a manner in which mankind is invincible. So that's what the bio revolution holds for all of us. And yes, definitely you will agree with me that the title what I have given, Bio Revolution for Better Life, is what actually we are all experiencing today, and it is going to get better and not in the other direction at all. Thank you. I thank ASTA for providing me this opportunity over and over again. It is a wonderful opportunity to interact with the students and also providing them with what little knowledge we have gained in the path of seeking knowledge. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So, dear students, please ask any questions about today's topic. ಯಾವುದೇ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಏನೇ ಡೌಟ್ ಇದ್ರು ಸರಿದಾರೆ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು.
Any questions are most welcome.
ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಸರ್, ಚಾಟ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ.
Are you all not excited to hear that you can be 18-year-old all the way in your life? In fact, a person in the US has already putting in his earning to be one. A lot of research has been going on and a lot of success also. They're able to revive his major organs. His heart is now 18-year-old in spite of him being 45-year-old. Now he has an 18-year-old heart.
So
I don't know about the feelings, I can't assure, but any questions? Yes, Siddhagowda, heli.
Chat box ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು questions sir later on
Sure. Any questions you can shoot.
Mail ಕಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ sir.
Most happy to answer them.
Okay, sir. So anyway, so immense pleasure to thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Siddhagowda. It was a wonderful opportunity provided for me.
Yes, sir. Delivered a very good talk on biorevolution. So ಈ ಒಂದು ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಿಂದ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಹಲವಾರು ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನ this is one of the more informative talks.
Thank you very much for all your cooperation.
ತಮ್ಮ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಂತ ಕಾಲಾವಕಾಶದಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಸೊ ನನ್ನ ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕವಾಗಿ ಹಾಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ KST ಪರವಾಗಿ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಸರ್.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for all the cooperation.
ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಜರಾಗಿದ್ದಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದಂತ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಅಯ್ಯಪ್ಪನ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಹಾಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಯ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಾಹಕ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಾದಂತ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ರಮೇಶ್ ಸರ್ಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಸರ್. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಇಂದಿನ ತರಗತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಜರಾಗಿದ್ದ ಎಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಮಿತ್ರರಿಗೂ ಹಾಗೂ ನನ್ನ ಸಹೋದ್ಯೋಗಿಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ವೆಬೆಕ್ಸ್ ವೃಂದದವರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸುತ್ತಾ ಈ ಒಂದು ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಅರುಣ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Have a good day, all the students. Thank you.
Welcome, sir. Thank you.